So, you want to know how to dither? Well, go ahead and grab a time machine, go back in time to medieval times, say come hither, and then just change the H to a D. Congratulations. Hey guys, welcome back to TutsByKai. I'm Kai, and today we are back in Blender 2.8 once again, taking a look at a procedural dither shader. And this one's really cool because it reacts to light. It moves with lamps and everything else, and I've done a dither shader before, but it was reliant on an image, and I really hate those. But I just really couldn't see doing it a different way. But today, my friends, I've come up with a way. I've done it. I've done it today. So, we're going to be taking a look at this shader material thingy right here, which looks really cool. And the first thing I did was I got a bunch of nodes together. Actually, it's not that many nodes. There you go. These are the nodes I'm going to be using. So real quick, we have a magic texture, which is Shift-A, search, magic, right there. We have a diffuse, which is Shift-A, Shift-A, Shift. What's going on here? Why can't I hit Shift-A? This is the weirdest thing. Okay. Anyway, okay, cool. It's a Shift-A diffuse. You just search diffuse like we just did with magic. And then we go to shader to RGB, which is Shift-A, then search, shader to RGB. Then Shift-A, color ramp. You can just search that. And then Shift-A, mix shader. You can search mix for that. So, I just plugged all those together. So, the first thing I did was I, of course, plugged in. Actually, we don't even need the mix shader. My bad. We don't even need that. I was doing something else and I still had that up here. Okay, so if we plug in the color ramp to the surface, you can see nothing pretty much happens. I have a couple different colors in here and I'll describe why. So pretty much what I did was I left it on linear. You could leave it on constant if you really want to, which I'm going to do for the beginning of this video. I have four different points in here. So you just hit this little plus button that adds points, just so you can change and move them and stuff. And you hit this little button down here to change the color. Just shift it to a color wherever, which is cool. So I have a couple of different colors in here. I have a very slightly yellowish tint color. And then I have a yellow color, an oranger color, like a golden color, then a super orange color, which is really, really nice. And then I just plug this into the shader to RGB, the shader and RGB into the color ramp. And you can see it still does nothing. That's because we need the diffuse. So we're going to plug the diffuse into the shader to RGB. And boom, skiggity skiggity. You can see now we've got some light, which is awesome because if I grab my light in the scene and hit G to move the light around, you can see the light is definitely affecting the material, which is awesome. So now you can see if I grab that light and just move it closer, it gets brighter and more white. If I move farther away, the white kind of goes away a little bit, and then it's like all the way gone, and there's only yellow. Super cool stuff. So it's dependent on where the light is, which is already really cool, but we can push this further because this isn't dither at all. There's no dither whatsoever. So I was like, how can I do this? Well, you can grab a magic texture and plug the magic texture's color into the color of the diffuse, and then you can see now we've got some nice dither, which is just awesome. You can change the scale. The scale is what's really helping this. So I think by default it was on 1 or something like that, or like 5, and that's obviously doesn't look good. So we're gonna bump it up to 50, and you can see we've got that nice dither. So the closer, like I said, the closer the lamp is, the harsher this is going to be. So we can put it right there. You can see we got a lot more of that kind of shading going on here. And the cool thing is if I change these values around, you can see we get some different effects here. I can put it like that, so the bottom has dither as well. I can move it up closer. I can change this from linear to from constant to linear, like this, which I think looks really nice. So I left it like this. Or you can do ease. It's pretty much all the same stuff other than constant. I mean, they're really all pretty similar. Just pick the one that you really like the best that really brings out the qualities that you're looking for. We can change these colors on the fly, and they will still apply with the lighting setup, which is just the coolest. And of course, as always, if you want actual color, you have to go to the scene tab here, the main tab, and then go to color management, and then change it from filmic to standard. And you can see now we actually have the colors that we truly have instead of that, which just looks terrible. I hate that. Anyway, so big difference there. Much more vibrant, like I'm going for, because this is, a comic book or some dithery looking thing. I don't know what you're doing. You can be doing anything really, but that's literally pretty much it. And this works on any different mesh. Obviously, Shift A, add in Suzanne the monkey, double tap R to rotate, and then just put that material on there. And you can see now, if I go shade smooth and just add a little bit of subsurf, just real quick. And then move the light around, you can see that the light is dependent on where and how the dither works and the colors themselves, which is super cool. I can change this to like a blue, and then it also works the same way. Really cool stuff. Hope you, ladies and gentlemen, enjoyed it. Very simple one today, but very useful depending on what you are doing. Hope you enjoyed it. I will see you in the next one, but until then, bye-bye.